Good Sunday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Joe Boo. Wait, where's Joe Boo? Hold on. I gotta get Joe Boo. Wow. Sorry, Joe Boo. Sorry about that, guys. Gotta have Joe Boo. Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Joe Boo, of course, went with me to Chantilly, Virginia, to the CSA autograph signing show. We had a ball seeing all of you great fans and stuff there. And my goodness, I feel so honored because of some of the things that happened there. Tony Dorsett, I had 2 prints for him to sign yesterday. I've cut them on my CNC machine, and they take, with this, we've learned, if you've seen, and Troy, you got one of the first ones, which was like low def. We have learned over the course of time on how to really do this thing. So instead of it doing the lines, it's basically taking a dot, just making dots. So it's like, high resolution, millions of literal dots, and it takes hours, like 6-7 hours, even at its max speed, to do these prints. But the look of them is so realistic. You can really see the depth in them because it is 3-dimensional carvings. And when Tony Dorsett saw the one I had, he was like, where'd you get this? He's like, I want one. And I was like, Tony, you can have that one. Fortunately, I did have another little Joe Barty here that is autographed by Tony Dorsett. So we're going to be giving this away along with the other merchandise. When I go to these shows, and it's not cheap, it is not cheap to get these autographs and things. I do this because I believe in giving back. Not everybody has the opportunity to go to one of these shows and to see these guys. And for me to go there, 1, because I want to make sure these guys aren't forgotten. But 2, to be able to get this and give it to somebody where it's spreading the mojo. I'm having a hard time this morning. Spreading the mojo around is big for me. So I've got Tony Dorsett, I've got Bob Lilly, I've got Michael Irvin, I got Diggs. I got a lot of different ones here for you guys that we'll be giving out during the off season here. We will have our live stream today, 5 o'clock. If you are a channel member, thank you, first of all, but you can be part of the conversation because we got a lot to talk about with the Dallas Cowboys, even though the talking heads don't. Now, I got a lot of people mad at me. I got a lot of people that are mad at me because of April Fools. They're like, that's childish. How dare you do some April Fools and get me? It's not like I invented April Fools. I'm getting called a clickbaiter now because I did an April Fool's joke. I saw a guy on Twitter there who said his mom saw a tweet that Zeke Elliott had, signed up with the Eagles. There were all kinds of, ESPNs, not just me, ESPN and, talk show hosts and television shows, Tom Brady's coming out of retirement, all over the place. But yet I get circled out and people get pissed off. Here's the thing that I want you to understand. If you're going to do something, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's your job, if it's your marriage, if it's a hobby, you strive to be the best at it. I don't care if it's cleaning toilets. Be the best one to clean freaking toilets. And I guarantee you have a company that does nothing but clean toilets and makes buku money. Seriously. You're the owner of it. You ain't cleaning the toilet, but you got the company that's taking care of it. Because believe me, every house got at least one toilet in it. Or most of them do. Okay. You get what I'm saying. Don't be mad at me because I understand with April Fools, you get up early. You be the first one in line. So that way when somebody wakes up and they see that before they have seen 15, 20, 30 April Fool's jokes, that they're still kind of groggy. What? You got to make it seem believable. You got to be able to sell it. Don't be mad at me because I got you good. Don't be mad at me because I work my craft and understand how to do it. Don't be mad at me because I play to win at everything I do. It may take me a long, long time, but I'm going to tell you something. I never give up. I never give up. And you never fail. You never fail unless you give up. Remember that. Remember that. That's why I bust my ass every single day at everything I do. So interesting thing here. No, we're not getting DeAndre Hopkins just yet, but I'm going to say, don't be surprised if it doesn't happen, because here's what's happened this year. Last year was crazy. The contracts, the money that was flowing, the trades that were being made. It was all over the place. And what happened was the Dallas Cowboys got trashed because they weren't playing that game. You remember Catboy said, you know, we don't believe what the Rams are doing is how you win football. And it was kind of like, dude, they just won the Super Bowl. What are you talking about? You know, are you
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
it was kind of like, are you kidding me? You saw everybody. You saw Denver get Randy Gregory, get Russell Wilson, among other people, with a good team. You saw Buffalo go out and get Von Miller and other players and things. You saw all these teams with, boom, getting all these hired assassins. And you had the little old Cowboys that literally cleared off cap room, got rid of starters and veterans, got rid of a great wide receiver, and they got laughed at. Cowboys suck. And here it was. Be it they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but they did better than all those teams that went out there and got all that stuff, all those shiny new pieces. And I think teams kind of looked and said, wait, along with the owner saying, wait, let's not spend a whole lot of money like this. It changed the dynamics of football. You don't see the big contracts. You saw Hargrave. That was one of the big ones. And the offensive tackle get his. But other than that, these contracts have been for chump change. Odell Beckham Jr., he won't get a contract that's like Michael Gallup's. You see, Hopkins right now, you know, they don't want to take that big hit. They recognize that by the time they can turn that team around and Kyler Murray gets back, you know, he's not going to be ready to start the season, that Hopkins will be passé, so it's better to get rid of him now. But teams are looking and saying, we don't want that big contract. As time goes on, they're going to get a little more desperate and possibly at the draft say, we either need to, excuse my language, since we've been talking about toilet, either shit or get off the toilet. We need to take, you know, whatever we can get right now and try and get rid of this thing. You know, I know we want to get a second round, but right now here at draft day, a fifth round and getting rid of the contract sounds real good because we don't want to take that big hit. We don't want to take that $26 million hit into the season. So you may still see Hopkins in play come draft day. And maybe this draft day will be more like the movie where people are going to be moving up and down. So I could see a move like that. But here's the thing that's kind of funny is the Cowboys are no longer that team. They're no longer that team that every day it's a Dallas Cowboys screwed up. Dallas Cowboys suck. Dallas Cowboys need a new GM. The Dallas Cowboys are idiots on the talking head shows. It's actually hard to find on the shows them actually talking about the Cowboys anymore. Rich Eisen, guy who I love. Rich, with his charities and everything else, running the 40. DMV suggested that I run the 40 at the draft. And I'm like, dude, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. With these bad knees, as old as I am, I think about where my body is compared to back when I was in college, when I was running a 4.6 40. I know it's hard to believe, but yes, I used to run a 4.6. But I'm sitting here going through, because I always like to end my morning video, with something that the talking heads say to trash the Cowboys and stuff. And Rich Eisen, they usually have, something on the Cowboys. Here it is, Rich Eisen. Doesn't take much to convince Mark Strong to do a murder mystery. Brandon Hunt, Ted Lasso. We got Deshaun Watson. We've got whether or not the 49ers should have a quarterback competition. We've got Bill Belichick. We ain't heard anything from Bill Belichick in a while. We got Kyrie Irving, another one about Bill Belichick. We've got Ted Lasso again, and Ben Affleck. We've got Jimmy Garoppolo to the Raiders. We got wide receiver Jordan Addison. We've got the take on Bill Belichick, Lamar Jackson, Raiders, 49ers, draft interviews. We got RG3 talking about Bijan Robinson's higher ceiling. We've got Major League Baseball even. We've got everything. We got Michigan's alumni. Another one, Bill Belichick. Arthur Smith. Not a single Dallas Cowboys video. The Cowboys are no longer the talk of the town this offseason. And I got to say, I love it. I absolutely love it. This is weird because it was all kill the Cowboys every day, all day, over and over again, and then back to track up.
Mike T, if I said the Eagles will defend their NFC crown, believe it or not?
I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. I think they have a better offseason. Brandon Cooks finally replaces Amari Cooper. They got another corner opposite Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore. And I like what Philly's doing, but they're a little longer in tooth in a couple key positions like center and right tackle.
Oh, you are singing my song here, Mike T. Ninko, if I said Justin Fields will lead the Bears to the playoffs this season, believe it or not?
Greeny, I believe it. The Chicago Bears, the super fan is back. Listen, I was at my doctor. I got my blood pressure under control, but this question gets my blood pressure high. Because guess what? Not only will Justin Fields take them to the playoffs, but probably the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Okay, that's in mid-season form.
Okay.
Kmart, Packers. If I said the Packers will still make the playoffs without Aaron Rodgers this season, believe it or not.
I'm going to go with or not. You know why? Because I literally was standing right next to Matt LaFleur when he was telling us to temper the expectations when it comes to Jordan Love. He said we'd be fooling ourselves to think this is going to look anything like what the offense looked like with Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be a progression. I think eventually Jordan Love will be good, but not right now.
Okay, fair enough. And then that brings us to the other side of that potential trade here, where the Jets owner Woody Johnson yesterday was at these owners' meetings, and he said, well, I think we're anxious. We're anxious, I guess, as we look forward, but we're optimistic. We have a plan, so we're willing to stick with our plan, and I don't think anybody is hyperventilating at this point. That last part is just a flat-out inaccurate statement.
Woody, because I have one guy here literally hyperventilating.
Get me a paper bag. I mean, I am hyperventilating, Woody, and so that part of it. And you were with him yesterday, right? You saw Woody?
Woody and I had a nice little stroll in the Phoenix sun. Everything was great. I'm telling you, Woody is not a guy who's Woody's doing better. His blood pressure is much better than yours.
Yeah.
Yes. Do they want to get this done? Of course. But the Jets aren't going to be hard-pressed to do something irrational just because everybody thinks, oh, this could all fall apart. Let's make sure we get Aaron Rodgers by any means necessary. Yes, they want him, but they have a plan. And I like that Joe Douglas and Woody has said, I trust Joe. Robert Saleh, I trust Joe. Joe Douglas is said, I've known Gutekunst for 20 years. Like, we have a plan, and we feel good about it, and we're just going to take it at our pace. I really like what the Jets are doing.
You know what? It was Mike Tyson who once said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. All right?
Greeny.
I have spent my entire life being punched in the face. I'm not interested in the plan. I want the trade to be done, Mike T.
That's not irrational to think that way. Here's the other thing I would do if I was the Jets. I would bring Lamar Jackson for a visit for two reasons. One is, until a deal is done, it is not done. But two, fundamentally, it's reasonable to think, Greeny, that Aaron Rodgers may be here for a year. And when all this stuff sells with Lamar Jackson, based on what we've heard most of the NFL said, he has to go back to Baltimore on a one-year deal this year. So he's going to be a free agent next year. So why not start recruiting him for next year? Because you may need a quarterback in 2024.
All right, I'm officially, briefly but officially, opening the offices of Greenberg and Tannenbaum right now, okay? And here's the suggestion I'm making to you, that we are going to call, we are the New York Jets, and we are going to call the Green Bay Packers, and we're going to say, here's what we're offering you for Aaron Rodgers. You have 48 hours to take this deal, or I'm moving on to Lamar Jackson. And he becomes, Aaron, becomes the biggest problem you've ever had in your entire life, because you don't want to get rid of him, and he might stick around out of spite and collect the $58 million that you owe him. So, in my opinion, that's what we should do. What do you say?
Absolutely, and I'll take it a step further. Then, if you're, quote, stuck with Aaron Rodgers, your worst-case scenario isn't Jordan Love being a good player, is that he's a great player someplace else because you never got him on the field. So we're going to create a sense of urgency. We're going to go see Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, and if this deal's not done by Friday and Aaron Rodgers is taking physical in Florham Park, we're out.
Why are you making that face at me?
I don't know. Logically, makes sense. But I was standing there when Joe Douglas was asked about Lamar Jackson. And he said, we would not negotiate in bad faith. We have our plan with Rodgers. That plan, Aaron Rodgers or bust, right? So the idea of even implementing Lamar Jackson in this scenario, I understand you're trying to create a sense of urgency.
I would tell Aaron Rodgers, here's what we're doing and why we're doing it. We're trying to get you in here at the most reasonable price possible so we can keep the 13th pick.
That's right. Who's going to be an offensive tackle who's going to be Paris Johnson or someone like that who's going to protect you for a living.
That's exactly right.
And we're negotiating in bad faith with who? I saw those guys. I'm sorry. I'm a little upset right now. Talk amongst yourselves. who would be in bad faith with? I don't even understand. Who are they offending?
That spoke to the sensitivity of Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
But your future quarterback.
Yes.
But because that was sort of the issue in Green Bay, where all of a sudden interest in somebody else is what got, his
he got angry. Yeah.
undies in a bunch, So I understand.
And then he won 2 MVPs in back-to-back seasons. I'll live with that.
Right. But Mike is saying, you don't know. The Jets could have Aaron Rodgers for 1 year, and then we could pursue the idea of Lamar. You are literally explaining to Aaron, bro, we understand you might not be here longer than this year. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers' personality presents some complexity.
I get it, but he's the one who said he was 90% retired when he went into the dark room. I didn't say it.
I feel like you have a common bond with the Jets. I'm really concerned, Greeny.
We really need to get this deal done.
We got to get it.
We can't sit with this energy here. We
No,
can't do it.
because I'm trying to be in a good place.
You're trying to woo-sob this whole situation.
And it's not.
So my question would be to Mike, is there a cap implication to where they are not getting this done right now? Isn't there something to do with the money, dead money?
Nico, it's a great point, and we've talked about this. Green Bay has a little bit of a juxtaposition. They obviously rather have the draft choices this year, but from a cap standpoint, they're much better off waiting until after June 1st.
Yes.
After June 1st is a very long time away. Do you know how far away June 1st is?
Just relax.
No, I'm not relaxed.
Relax.
Absolutely not.
In the meantime, what am I going to do? Can I go to the pictures? I want to show the pictures because it'll make me smile. Okay, let's put the pictures up there. Nico, I want to know why you were not invited to this. Tom Brady posted pictures of himself enjoying.
Wow.
First of all, hurt that I wasn't.
Tom living his best life.
I'm a defender. I didn't really touch any touchdown passes. These guys all caught touchdown passes except for the guy in the middle. I don't know who that is. He don't look like a football player. But Tom Brady, I'm not upset about it. Julian's there. Dola's
Gronk is
there.
there.
All my guys were there. My friends were there. But it's okay. You know,
It's
I
like
got.
when you're
First of all, hold on. This is how this conversation would go. Hey, Paige, yeah, the guys are going to go to like some cool island and like play football on the beach, and I'll leave you with the 3 kids. Oh, no, you're not doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
So you
you
wouldn't have- I wouldn't have been able to go
You're
anyway.
watching your buddies and all your friends have
I know.
fun on Instagram without
I'm
you.
kind of a hater on that.
Kind of a hater on that one. Well, it's actually nice that the Dallas Cowboys aren't that team that everybody's looking at to be a train wreck. I hope you guys have a great day, and don't forget, 5 o'clock Eastern, we got our live stream. In the meantime and in between time, we're going to be doing a whole lot of stuff here, working on the studio, working on the house, and constantly trying to get better. And more importantly than anything else, we got to get ready for the draft road trip. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys, as always, for being here. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.